We're going. We're on.
Okay.
People cannot see your face. We gotta figure this out.
Okay, that's better. Okay, that's better.
That's good. I think that's pretty
good.
Your microphone is just so large compared to mine. Are you closer? What is happening? Try
It's
that.
my head. It's.
Try that.
Is that better? That's better.
That's a little bit better.
That's better.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Tonight's sleep, tonight's ramble, tonight's video, whatever this video is for you guys. Tonight's video is brought to you by Manta Sleep. Manta's sleep mission is to make the best, most functional, most practical, most usable sleep masks the world has ever seen. Paris and I recently had a baby, and that means that sleep is hard to come by. Whenever I take a nap, midday, sun is shining, this thing is coming handy, and I mean handy, because I get good sleep, it stays dark, and I get to listen to ASMR. But one of the good things is that it is not noise isolating, and that is a good thing for me, so that I can hear what is happening around me. I can hear my baby crying. Maybe some of y'all want to isolate that out. I personally don't, just to make sure that my baby remains alive. Everything they do is to make our lives better through regular naps. Paris here is modeling the Manta Sleep Mask Sound, the most comfortable Bluetooth speaker in existence. Right here, you can see these razor-thin Bluetooth speakers. You have the perforated material for ventilation to keep things cool, a 20-hour battery life, and here on the inside, you can see the C-cup shape, kind of like over-ear headphones, where they don't touch your ears. It's just like that for your eyes. And one of my favorite features about this sleep mask is that there are no noise notifications. So when the battery starts to run low, there are no notifications, no beeps that are going to wake you up. But there is a 20-hour battery life on this bad boy, so you don't really have to worry about that much. But all things run out of battery eventually. But Manta Sleep offers 7 different sleep masks. This is just one. Just one. So go to their website and go check them out if you're interested. This is just one. So if y'all like to sleep well and are interested in Manta Sleep, hit that link in the description. Use my code SUFFICIENT and you can get 10% off of your order. Again, that code is SUFFICIENT to get 10% off. Thank you, Manta Sleep, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into the content. Shoo, shoo. Insufficient whispers. And Paris. Back on mics. That was good. I didn't even tell her to do that. That was so good. We've been struggling to get Paris's full face on the screen in the camera. It's tough.
A big old microphone.
I have a feeling that probably like in 2 minutes, Paris is going to slump back down and you're only going to be able to see eyes and a voice. But it has been since, we just looked it up right before we started filming, it's been since January 4th.
It's a long
January
time.
4th.
Long time.
Since you were on the channel.
Yep, long time.
You were 4 months pregnant.
Yep.
And we were out eating fast food.
I know.
And it probably wasn't long after that video that you no longer could eat fast food.
No. I ended up with pregnancy diabetes, so I couldn't eat any carbs, any sugar for the rest of my pregnancy.
We call it pregnancy diabetes. The smart people call it gestational diabetes.
The diabetes is what I call it. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah, so it wasn't long after that. There was no more fast food.
No more fun. Just a lot of meat.
A lot of meat.
A lot of meat.
A lot of vegetables.
It was very, very sad. A lot of stevia pop.
Yes. A lot of stevia pop, which was probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Long
it was
term.
good. It was good.
Long term was probably a good change.
Stevia was good.
Because when you got diabetes, we finally realized how much sugar is actually in stuff. So I don't Is it marketing?
Advertisement.
Maybe.
Marketing.
We're not that smart, guys.
Anyways.
It's the worst. That sounds like a medicine. Stevia.
We only got it because Olipop was too expensive for us to buy at Costco.
Olipop is
I
ridiculous.
love Olipop and I love Poppy. It's my favorite thing.
I refuse.
And Alex said no.
Yeah. Nuts. But it did give me an excuse to grill a lot.
Yeah, we grilled a lot
Lots
of food.
grilling.
Lots of grilling. Lots of salads at the end.
Lots of chicken breasts.
Yeah.
Steak.
It was too much meat. I had protein cereal every morning.
Yep.
A lot of protein cereal.
Protein cereal. No more bagels.
Nope. I couldn't have sweet potatoes either.
She drank a lot of protein shakes. A lot of protein.
Yeah.
She was eating like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, the other thing was, I am the only pregnant person ever that could not gain weight during pregnancy.
Yeah, she could.
I could not gain weight with this diet. And Penelope, our daughter, is tiny, so she had a growth restriction. So I was like pounding food to try to gain weight so she could try to gain weight. I just couldn't.
She couldn't do it. So, because actually, little fun fact, Paris actually is back to normal weight.
Yeah.
It only took her like a week, right? It was
Yeah.
only a week.
Yeah. Which is not, it was not good. That's actually not.
That's actually not
something to brag about.
Yeah. But because you were induced or because you were so.
Yeah, because she was so small, I ended up getting induced at 38 weeks on the dot.
Which ended up not being too bad of a thing.
No.
Not too bad. Which leads us into labor and delivery conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to let you lead this part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I think you might tell it better than I do. And I'll just interrupt.
Just interrupt.
I'll just interrupt and add or correct.
Yeah, I wasn't nervous about labor at all. I wasn't nervous. My goal was to go no epidural. So that was my initial goal. But I was like, well, if it gets to be too much, I can back out, get the epidural, and it'll be fine. Like, I've been watching videos of people that had the epidural, and they were just chilling. Like, they were not panicked. So I thought that everything would be fine. I wasn't nervous about labor at all. I was excited. We went and got coffee on our way to the hospital that morning. And the first few hours were super chill. They waited to give me my medicine. So they started with Cervidil, if you're familiar at all with labor. So I had one dose of Cervidil and it did basically nothing. And then I got my second dose and my water broke. And then from there, things just went crazy. Yeah, things went very unexpected.
So I think we were there for probably, 6 hours before anything happened?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, we were there for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
And so during the wait,
Oh, yeah.
I played Civilization.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I played Civilization at first, which got me to lunchtime real quick.
Yeah.
Civilization is a time hack. Y'all probably know if you played Civ. You know.
Yeah.
But then we ended up watching Shane Gillis's new TV show, Tires, which is
The whole thing.
the whole thing. It's very short, but it's a stupid show.
We were just chilling.
We were just chilling and didn't really want to think about much. And if you're just chilling and you don't want to think about much, you could just watch Tires. It's stupid.
Yeah. And they told us that we could have been there for a while. So I was expecting like induction to take a while. I was thinking like I wasn't going to have it till the next day, far into the afternoon. But then around like 2 o'clock my water broke. And then like shortly see, she's fine. I don't even know what contractions are like. Your body getting ready for the baby, so it's like a intense, like, cramping feeling. And normally when it happens, there's like breaks in between. I don't know what's even normal. A few minutes in between. And I had not a single break in between my contractions from the time my water broke until the time I had her. Like, there was like no break. They're like 30 seconds, maybe.
So from 2 p.m. to 4 a.m., Paris was basically contracting with no breaks. The only time that you really got a break was when you got in the tub.
Yeah, got into the tub.
The tub is
Helped
supposed to slow down the contractions and like give you a little break. And yeah, I don't really know what we would have done without the tub.
Yeah, that was huge.
Without the tub,
yeah,
without the sleeping or
the laughing gas. Yeah. So since I was trying to go no epidural, we were trying other methods to kind of help. So we did laughing gas for a long time. The tub. I had Alex working. He was like pushing my hips together, sweating.
And I talked to many men before I went in, okay? And even my dad. I called my dad while Paris was taking the medicine. I was like, Dad, what do I need to do? What should I expect? And my dad was just like, yeah, you can't do much. Just get her water when she needs it and like hang in there. That was so far from untrue. I had to do so much. Like, I was exhausted because I was standing up on the hospital bed with Paris like on all fours, her in between my knees, and I'm squeezing her hips as hard as possible. Apparently, like counter pressure, it really helps.
It did help. And then we had my mom in there, so she had a tennis ball going on my back.
This was a 3-4 man operation.
It was. So we made it. I made it pretty far. So if you are familiar with labor, there's so many centimeters you have to get dilated before you can. Yeah, before you can start to push. So I got to 7 before I tapped out, and that was probably a good choice. That was a good choice because I was.
Go the epidural route. We at least got an hour break.
Yeah, well, the epidural. So the first time they put it in me, my left leg started to hurt.
She was just laying down on her back, and her left leg started to rise and levitate, and started to go like this. And we're like, oh no, what's going on?
No, it didn't. My left leg just hurt. So
She started to levitate off of the bed like the exorcist.
Have a seizure. So we had to come back in and redo the whole thing. And I'm terrified of needles, and in that moment I was so desperate I didn't even care whatsoever about the needle. So then it worked fantastic for like an hour and a half. I felt basically nothing.
That was the meanest nap.
I slept. I was so tired.
The meanest nap.
It was great.
You and I have ever taken.
Yeah, my mom was asleep on a chair. But then, after an hour and a half, we're starting to check how I'm doing, and it's time to push. And my epidural just wore off. It just stopped. It just stopped working.
Nothing.
For like the final 3 hours of pushing. And I don't know how to describe. I don't know how to describe that experience.
I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can describe that. It's just something that you go through. And then the other people that have also gone through it, you kind of just like look at each other.
Yeah.
And you just have a general understanding. Because it's crazy. Like, let me just say, Labor Day was the hardest day of my life. And I was not the one in labor. That was her, which makes her day a billion times worse than mine.
Yeah.
And so, when not even, like, I had so many thoughts, emotions, hormones, like, going through my body and my mind, just thinking things that could go wrong, seeing this is so awful that there's no possible way that you can not love this baby when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because you had literally gone through the worst day, the worst pain that a person can ever go through. Actually, get this child out of there. You know?
Yeah.
And so, I don't really think you can describe it. It's just something people go through.
Yeah.
And after it's all said and done, I thought that this is I thought that was the normal.
That was that.
I thought that was the normal
Yeah.
labor and delivery. Like, that's what everybody went through. And I felt like I had been entered into a secret club that all men have seen, experienced exactly what I did. But now that I'm actually talking to people who have had children, that wasn't their experience at all. Like, their epidurals worked.
And they were fine.
They were fine. They weren't in that much pain. It was mainly just pressure. That's the word that they used, was pressure.
I would not describe what I went through as pressure.
And they kept telling us that it's just pressure. Yo, that was not pressure.
And I made it to 7 centimeters. So I know I'm not like a low pain tolerance. I wasn't being a baby. It truly was.
That was
the worst pain I've ever been in.
That was Paris's big thing. She wanted to prove that she's not a wuss.
Yeah.
And trust me,
I did.
She ain't no wuss.
Definitely.
But I will say that one of the coolest moments, one of the coolest things that I've ever seen, and Paris doesn't. She might deny it.
Yeah.
But she was pushing for probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours at this point, where she's literally begging, crying, asking for an epidural. There wasn't any.
Yeah, there wasn't anything they could do.
There was nothing. And I'm yelling at her. Like, there's no more medicine. If you want this to be over, then you gotta push. Like, it's up to you. Okay, so then, this whole thing is going on, and Paris is like, I can't do it, and yada, whatever. We're yelling at each other. And then all of a sudden, the doctor, she says that Penelope's heart rate is dropping, so they're gonna have to call somebody else in to vacuum her out. And after they said that Penelope's heart rate was dropping, Paris went into mommy mode, and she sucked it up real quick, and she dealt with the pain, and she pushed harder than she ever did.
I don't recall any of this.
It was like the most heroic thing that I've ever seen in my life. It was so cool. And she doesn't either remember it or she might deny it. But I saw it, I watched it, because I was the one yelling at her. Suck it up. There's no more medicine.
Yelling. I don't think you were yelling.
Yeah.
We lived very different experiences.
And so do you still have bruises?
No, I don't. I should take a picture of it.
She also says that I'm not yelling, but also she had no idea how hard I was gripping her hand. She had bruises.
All over my arms.
All the way up and down her forearms, because I was grabbing her so hard while she was contracting.
Because you were trying to alleviate the pain.
Trying to alleviate the pain.
And I literally didn't even notice.
I left bruises. You could see where my fingers were.
Yeah.
And we told people that it was the IV. It wasn't the IV. Where we at? So we had the baby.
Yep, we had the baby.
She is alive and well.
She is. She's so
healthy,
good.
Healthy and strong.
Healthy, strong.
She had a bruise on her.
Yeah, her head got stuck in my pelvis, so that's part of the reason why it took so long and why it was so much pain was her head was trying to go out sideways. So super, super bruised afterwards.
She had to get an ultrasound.
Yeah.
She's healthy.
She's fine. She's fine. She's good.
Bleeds. The hospital was an interesting time, I guess.
Yeah.
The first few days of having her. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I didn't expect that I would be so physically exhausted afterwards. Physically just so exhausted I could barely walk. It was hard getting out of bed, and I was so tired, and they kept waking me up every 2 hours to check on me.
nurses were not very clear
No.
how much to actually feed her.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was
Yeah.
very angry at us because we were not feeding her enough.
Yes.
Because they told us the initial amount was 10 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's half an ounce. Or not half an ounce, that's a third of an ounce. But they never told us to up it at all. So we just kept feeding her 10 milliliters. Milliliters. I think I said millimeters.
Yeah.
Milliliters. And so she was mad.
She's
And
ticked.
we even got to our first pediatrician appointment.
Yeah.
And she asked how much we were feeding her. And it was still like half.
Yeah, it wasn't right.
Of what she should have been eating. So we're like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's not very clear.
Why did nobody tell us that? Guys,
Not
you
clear.
you can basically feed your baby all that baby wants to eat, just as long as that baby's not spitting up, you know?
But now we're feeding her too much.
Yeah,
That's what we've heard. Now we're feeding her too much.
Yeah, we're feeding her too much now.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the first night. So the first night, I was up with her until probably 4 or 5 a.m. crying and crying and crying. And finally the nurse came in. She was like, are you sure you don't want me to take her to the nursery? And I gave in. I was like, just take her to the nursery. And then I passed out.
Yeah.
So the second night we did do that. You had her sent to the nursery.
Yeah, it was supposed to be my night with the baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, screw this. Take this thing from me. I need to sleep. So, yeah, definitely utilize the nursery. And we also didn't know that they could feed her in the nursery.
Yeah.
Which actually let us sleep for a long time,
Yeah.
which was nice.
That was nice.
So, yeah, we had a lot of visitors.
We had so many visitors.
Yep, we had a lot of visitors. Family.
A lot of people bringing us food, which is really nice. I appreciated that a lot.
We brought her home.
Yep.
And I think the main thing is just getting used to the 3-hour rhythm.
Yeah, 3-hour window was rough. Because Alex, he's able to sleep, so if I take her for a feed, he's able to. But I, no matter what, have to be up every 3 hours, which is
She's got a
tough, very tough.
bump. Yeah, she's got a bump. So I end up staying up, or at least like taking care of the baby Penelope until about like 6 a.m.
Yep.
So I'll sleep maybe on and off from like 3 to 6.
Yeah.
And then I hand her off.
Yep.
And then that's when I get my okay sleep. I get to sleep for like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And so it took some time to reach exhaustion, but I think
Yeah,
we're about
I am
there.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've been out and about. I think that's been good and healthy. I think it's hard when you're kind of stuck in the house after a newborn. So we've been out and getting some sunshine, which has been really nice. And I think that felt really good because of that reason.
Yeah, we've been car shopping.
Yeah, we have been car shopping.
And we love car shopping.
Yeah, I just love shopping in general.
Or not. The people who are scared to talk to dealers or, haggle and try to get the best deal possible. That's not us. We like it. And we just like to research.
Yeah, it's just been something fun to do.
Yeah, we both know more about cars
than we probably should.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. I think we test drove 8 or 9 cars.
So many cars. And we take little Nellie with us.
We take Nellie with us.
She's doing good.
She's a wonderful traveler.
Yeah, she's good.
So we were looking for third row SUVs.
Yep.
I currently drive a Mazda CX-30, which is a CUV, a crossover, which is smaller. And so we've quickly figured out that our car seat does not fit behind the passenger seats. It only fits in the middle. When it's in the middle, the seats don't go down. And the back of the car is so small.
Yeah.
I can't even fit my golf clubs back there. That just says how small it is. So
can't.
like, oh wait,
Never mind.
Never mind.
And the reason why we can't is because we initially thought if we traded in the Mazda, we were going to get a certain amount we could use on a down payment. Well, it turns out what we're going to get on the Mazda is so small, it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense for us to get rid of that car.
Unless I decided to sell it myself.
Yeah. But then we decided that my car, so my car I've had since high school is a Kia Soul 2011. It is not a great car.
It's okay.
It's got some issues. It's okay now because we fixed it.
We put some
We
money
put
into
a lot
it.
of money into it to fix it. So we decided that it made more sense to get rid of that car and then get a third row SUV.
Yeah, a big
SUV.
We're talking like suburban Yukon.
Used,
but like old. And we're only driving it around the city.
Yeah.
So we're not putting a ton of miles on it. So
Yeah.
we can afford to get a 2011, 2012 for.
We ain't getting no 2024 Tahoe. I wish we were.
Who is affording that? Seriously, they sell for like 60 to 80,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Our house is like near that price.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's also my dream car. That is my dream.
Yeah. So
They're so pretty.
So yeah, we're looking at big old SUVs, big daddies.
Because he was gonna get a truck. Originally, he was gonna get a truck, so.
Yeah, I wanted a truck, sell the Suburban or whatever is gonna be my replacement. It gets the job done. I should be able to haul around a lot in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been a lot of fun, and it's been a really sweet time just being able to be at home with you and Penelope, and we're both on break. I'm still filming, but I'm still home. And we've had so much support where neither of us have cooked.
No, which has been such a big help.
Neither of us have cooked anything in the last 2.5 weeks because people have been
just
bringing us food,
to us,
or have given us gift cards.
Yeah.
So it's been really, really awesome. And my mom's coming up next week.
Yeah.
So she better cook for us.
Oh yeah, she's gonna cook.
Let's go.
Alex is gonna get sleep.
Ma'am, all to the rescue. Come on.
Get some sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Alright, I have one question. What was the most surprising thing about pregnancy, labor, and having a kid? What has been the most shocking?
The most shocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprising.
Yes, surprising.
Didn't expect.
Okay, well, I would say the easy answer to that is, without a doubt, labor.
Yeah.
Labor is the most bizarre thing that I have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Or ever will witness. It's, again, you just can't put words to it. That's the most shocking, surprising thing my eyes have ever seen. Also, one of the most beautiful things my eyes have ever seen. And there was so much misery and pain amongst the beauty.
Yeah.
And then other than labor, I would say that it's been surprising to watch your physical body changing to be able to nurture a child, and then also the emotional, fatherly, motherly, emotional ties. I don't really know how to describe that, but just like, you're a mother now, I'm a father. We are caretakers of a child, and I think that changes us.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter anymore whether we're tired. It doesn't matter anymore if I'm hungry. It doesn't really all matter. It just matters, is she fed?
Yeah.
Is she being taken care of? My needs and my wants take a backseat to her.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into a conversation that we were having during our anniversary date, when I was you were asking me if I was having another quarter-life crisis.
Those happen sometimes.
But it's kind of I was, where just realizing that this is not about me. I've always known that, but kind of not, in a sense. like you know something, but yet everything that you've done up to that point, including like your own education, like me choosing to go to college, then deciding to go to grad school, and the decisions that I've made, of course, I've had my family in the back of my mind, but mainly it's me. Like my decisions are for me. My sport, when I play sports, like that's for me. And so, even like dance for you. Like you danced for you. You made decisions for you. Of course, you have your family in the back of your mind. But now it's like everything that I've done was for me, and it's not about me. But also realizing that it never was about me. It never was. And it's not even about Penelope. And Penelope will have to realize someday that it's not about her. And it never was about her, even though it was fun to think that it was about her, right? Yeah. Because it was fun to think it was about me.
Yeah,
but there's a deep peace that you get when you realize that you're not that important.
Yeah.
That it's not about me. It never was about me, but it was a lot of fun to think it was. And of course, we actually are important. So you have to understand both sides. That no, you're not that important, but you're also important.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that movie, Everything, Everywhere.
You like that movie?
I love that movie.
Like that movie?
Because it's talking about purpose.
Yeah.
And you don't understand purpose until you realize there isn't a purpose. But yet there is. And you can't explain it. But I think that movie does the best job I've ever seen talking about purpose in life. Soul is up there. Soul is also very good at explaining your life's purpose. But yeah, it ain't about me. That was a long way of answering that question.
Okay. I like it.
Go ahead. You want to answer your own question? What's the most surprising, shocking thing you've seen?
I would say, like, the sacrifice of a mother is, like, very surprising. Like, my mom always said to me, like, you don't understand, you won't understand till you're a mother. Like, you can't possibly understand what it's like. And I do think that, especially, I think, like, the physical sense of it, like, you are sacrificing your whole body, and your whole body is being used to create another human being, and then not only just to create her, but then also to feed her. Like, that is your whole body. And just the sacrifice of that, but you have so much love for that child that it doesn't matter at all. Like, I would sacrifice and do it all over again. And I will do it all over again for other kids, which is crazy to think about. Like, that is such a cool thing. Wait,
6 more times.
6 more times. Not 6, maybe 4.
We're trying to load up a bus.
Yeah.
It's going to be a small bus.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids riding the short bus.
Yeah.
My kids are going to...
Stop that. Yeah. It's just undescribable, and I think it's just so really beautiful.
Seriously.
It is. It's just really beautiful.
The sacrifice of a mother. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I think we both have a lot more honor and respect for parents.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, it's a difficult task.
Yeah.
But it's one of the greatest tasks. Rewarding tasks.
Yeah.
Life-giving tasks.
Yeah.
Responsibilities that I think a lot of people are missing out on.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one reason why people are missing out on it is just like the unwillingness to take on responsibility. It's scary.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole video in itself. Talk about dating. We could talk about dating, marriage, and babies, and what's wrong with society.
A lot.
I'll be another one of the. Oh shoot! I can't even remember the name of my own series. But anyway, I think that'll do it for this video.
Yeah.
It's a little bit long, but that's okay. We don't get you on all the time.
No.
Gotta take advantage when Paris is willing to get on the mic.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for joining.
You're
It's
welcome.
a little bit late.
It is.
It's